Hi, friends. Welcome. How are you doing today? Let me hope you're doing good. Thank you for joining me today. Today, I'm going to talk about how I personally manage my stress. You might be having your own ways of managing stress, but I'm glad to share with you how I manage my own stress and how some of these methods have really helped me. And I really hope that they do help you as an individual. To begin with, there are various definitions of stress out there, but one of the easiest one is stress is a state of worry or mental tension, usually as a result of a difficult situation one may be going through. I've thought about this topic and I really believe that someone out there will also need or may need ways of how to overcome stress. As to some, it's easy to overcome stress, and to others, it's really a tug of war. But I'm glad to share my ways. I hope you can take a leaf and change your life. One, one of the ways that help me to manage stress as a person is to accept the situation. You know, denial is one of the hardest aspects of life that we have to deal with. But sometimes the easier and the faster you accept, the more it's going to offload off your head. Way number two of how I manage my stress. React realistically. Do not pretend. React the exact way you feel about the situation. This may sound awkward, but the truth is the more you put your true self to a situation and you react positively or negatively, but in the most realistic ways, it really helps you to calm down. It has really helped me. Next, start also by thinking about the cause. There may be different causes of the stress you may be going through. It may be financial, it may be spiritual, it may be physical. Think about the causes. I'll talk about my personal experience. I've been an English teacher for the last 5 years. And we all know by talking about my profession or by talking about my job as a teacher, it's really stressing. There are various things that stress us at work, from the environment, in the classroom, but most of the times we really know what triggers some of the things that we go through. So try to figure out the causes of the situation. In my case as a teacher, students may have different behaviors, they may have different problems in and out of school, in and out of the house. You try to put many things together and see how you can fit yourself in. Next, you need to ask yourself, what can you do? Of course, there are things you can do something about, and honestly, there are things you may not have anything to do about. Which takes us to the next step, which is my favorite. Would you really want to know what my favorite part of it is? After figuring out what you can do about the situation, the next thing I usually want to focus on is to find a solution. But before I usually find a solution, I always want to put something very clear together. One, I usually want to put down all the possible solutions that I can, all of them that I can. And then I figure out everything in two ways. One, I tend to figure out what do I have control over and what don't I have control over. For example, as a teacher, sometimes you go to class and it's about you. Probably you've entered the classroom with your personal problems, and sometimes you enter class when the students themselves have problems. In this case, what exactly do you have full control over? In my opinion, I have total control over what is going on in my mind. So I tend to put more energy on what I can control. I can control my emotions when I'm dealing with my students. I can control my feelings so that I'm able to communicate properly with my students. So, it is very important in everything we handle in life. Figure out what do you have control over, what can you not control. Because what you can control consumes less energy but yields better fruits. On the other hand, things you have no control over, they drain you emotionally, they can drain you physically, and yet they yield no results. Yes, it is very important to figure out what you can control. The next thing, after figuring out what you can control, as a believer, I usually surrender to God, to the submission to God. I say, God, you're in control. Please take over the situation. Why do this? I do this because I figure out what I have full control over. And one of the things that really helped me to calm down is being in the presence of the Lord. Someone may ask, as an unbeliever, what can I do? I'm sure with time you can figure out how best you can calm down, how best you can put your mind off certain things and focus your energy on better and important things. That is something that can help a lot. As I conclude, there is something that people tend to tell us, but I've really found it difficult. But there are ways that we usually go through to handle it. I'm talking about the term or the word or the phrase, let go. Dear friends, letting go is one of the hardest things to do. It's really very hard. But I'm someone who used to hold on to everything. I've held on to many things, many things as a person. But as I've matured in many aspects of my life, I've realized that it's not about letting go. You just focus your energy on better things. On better things. Let's say you have money problems. Yes, it is there, but at the moment you're really stuck. You're stuck in your own shoes. Okay? Of course, certain things are really difficult to overcome, but try to shift your energy. You've had a breakdown, a breakup. You are not in position to control what someone else thinks, but you're in position to put together what you as a person think. Slowly by slowly, it helps you to take your mind off the problem. It helps you to take your mind off the many things and focus your energy on other things. Most importantly, keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. Every day as you wake up, do something new for yourself. I remember I never believed in the to-do list thing. But 2 years ago, I was going through a very tough situation and I asked myself, how can I be better? How can I better myself? One of the things I started doing was reading as many books as I can. One of the very first books that I read in my life, I remember I read it when I was 28 years old. Of course, yeah. That was the very first time I read a book. It was called Change Your Thinking and Change Your Life by Brian Tracy. I read it and I read it and I read it. I found out that there are many things I can do for myself, yet I was thinking that I cannot do nothing. Okay? Somewhere in the book it said, it's okay to ask for help. Ask if you don't understand. Ask if you're in doubt and everything that goes in that category. Taking me back to the point of the to-do list, I started getting focused on what I was to accomplish on a daily basis. Please, quote me well, do not load yourself with many things to do on a daily basis. Put a few things, 3 or 5 things. Every day that you wake up and you've accomplished something, you will find that, why was I stressed? Why was I wasting my energy? Why was I wasting my time? So, keep finding for better solutions on how best you can manage your own stress. I personally have grown and I'm growing. Each and every day, I am looking for ways. I am looking for methods of how best to keep my inner peace, of how best I can keep my mind off certain things. As I conclude this video, In the comment section, I would like you to share with me, how do you manage your stress? Because there are general ways of managing stress, and of course, that depends on the kind of stress you're going through. I hope this video has been really helpful to you, and I hope you picked something that you can tackle or that you can use in your own life. I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful time.